He just ripped off a 3.197, 233.14 in a mile an hour. How about Evan Kinsley?
Oh, snaps. Full engine rebuild after every one, people. Now, that's the kind of shit that gets the Muggy Maniac fired up. Okay? That's what I grew up around. Just so you guys know, you know, a lot of you guys really don't know a lot about me. I mean, some of you guys do, but some of you guys don't. I grew up around drag boat racing. My dad owns a boat now. You know, we had ski boats and recreational family, you know, jets and stuff, jet boats, but now he has he bought a blown alcohol flat bottom. Those right there are blown fuel hydros. It's like the top fuel of drag boats. My dad's, the next class below that is blown alcohol. Kind of like top fuel funny cars, if you guys know anything about them. You got top fuel, and then you have alcohol. A little bit different. Alcohol is a little bit less power, but still pretty powerful. My dad's boat, my brother drives it, because obviously my dad's too old to be driving this type of thing. It's called the cardiac arrest. My dad named it that because he had a heart attack not, you know, many years ago. But you know, so he decided to name the boat Cardiac Arrest. It has a 496 blown alcohol motor in it. It's pretty cool. I don't get to go on, you know, because they travel around. I think the next race is coming up. But you know, my brother always also races trucks. So I come from a background of my family. We're gearheads. We're gearheads, motorheads. You know, been around it ever since I was a little kid. So when I got into fifth scale nitro 4 years ago, this was something that I always wanted to do, but I really couldn't afford it. Not that it's real expensive, but you know, to be honest with you, it can be. Okay, ask Mr. Raja. Shout out to Raja, by the way. You know, guy's the only other guy that I see that, you know, consistently does some kind of video uploads or, you know, keeps people in the loop. And by the way, this video, you guys are probably wondering, like, where the hell have I been? Busy, very busy. Just, I have wanted to step away from YouTube for a while because I feel I'm getting too emotionally attached because I'm so passionate about 8-scale nitro, and sometimes, you know, I can be very direct, but that's just the way I am. I don't hold any punches. I don't apologize for my behavior on YouTube. Matter of fact, I hope, I told one of my nitro brothers, I hope that my goal is to be the most controversial 8-scale nitro channel on YouTube. Because I don't see a lot of that. And what I mean by controversial, to you guys it might, or some people might be controversial. To me, it actually is truth. A lot of guys blow smoke up people's ass, sugarcoat shit, powder coat it, because they want the ratings. They want 1 million subscribers. They want, you know, by the way, when I said that about Mr. Zah, 1 million subscribers, I know how many subscribers he has, 100,000. It was just for me to emphasize, you know, what I was talking about. But I don't care about all that. And I'm sure those guys maybe didn't too, when they started. Not to mean that their hearts aren't in the right place, those guys that have all the subscribers, but you get sucked into the machine. I call it the big red machine, the big red and white machine, or big red machine of YouTube, and you play into all that bullshit. I don't want to do that. It's already me, you know, I've had some heated battles. You know, you guys know, RC Nerd, you know, me and him went at it toe-to-toe for a minute. You know, that guy's just, he's not all there. He's just, even one guy made a comment, it was funny, I was listening to some of this, I still watch the guy's videos. Because I just want to see what he's up to. And his videos, I don't care. He left one of them open where you could make comments and then he shut it down. That guy is just out of his rocker. I don't know what the hell that guy is smoking or whatever, or what's going on in the bad air in Texas, because that's where he's from, you know. And I know Woogie's, you know, pretty straightforward, and he's not all whacked out. And the RC nerd, that guy's in Austin. He's in Austin, Texas. Woogie's down south a little bit. By the way, shout out to Woogie. Shout out Mr. Woogie, my Nitro brother, for life, doing his thing. I'm going to get into some stuff, Woogie. I'm going to help you out on a few things that I know that you're dealing with, and, you know, because I have experience in them. And that's the only thing I have than you guys. I'm not any better. I'm not, you know, some arrogant, pompous, you know, and people have called me all kinds of shit. I am the way I am because of how I was raised, what I was raised around. So I know my shit. When it comes to wrenching, it comes to gearhead, motor shit, I know my shit. Now, I only have 4 years in Nitro, but I picked it up and I progressed very fast. I could have been doing modified motors from the get-go, but I didn't want it. I wanted to learn the right way and take my time. Same thing when you're breaking in a motor, man. Take your time. Relax. People are in too much of a hurry. They end up jacking up shit, making more mistakes that can cost you money. That's where Nitro gets expensive, because people don't approach it the right way. They fly by the seat of their pants. They don't get the right info. They don't do their homework, and they do stuff, and it ends costing them money, and then they complain about how expensive it is. Yeah, it can be really expensive if you're a knucklehead. If you don't do the shit the right way. Take your notes, you know, do your research, do some, you know, studying, background check, hit up some of the top guys in racing, hit up, because some of them are open, not all, but some of them are. Ryan Lutz is one guy I talk to it has been a while, but I've made comments and he's got back to me. Adam Drake always does. Adam Drake is the only guy, professional racer that I know, and I'm all over YouTube, okay, that uploads videos consistently, and he doesn't have to take the time to do any of that shit. He's a legend, man. He's he's a legend in what he does. One of the all-time greats in my book. I always say it. He's the Dale Earnhardt postmodern of this era in 8-scale Nitro RC. Okay, period, end of story. And you can ask anybody that knows anything about our Nitro or even E-Word, Adam Drake's a household name. Okay, when they start making motors with their names on it and shit, that's when you have, you know, reached that freaking status of, you know, the elite. That guy is a Nitro freaking scientist, you know. And Mr. Za, he in my category is that same type of status, but in bashing, you know, that you know, pertains to the average guy. And not that Adam isn't an average guy, but Adam races, man. All that shit that he gets, he don't pay for none of that. That's all he gets from racing, and, you know, he earned it. I'm not saying that he, you know, he's, you know, anything bad about it. He earned that right. He put in the hard work and the time and the dedication and all the sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears that most of those guys do. And him probably even more. He'll even tell you, and the other guys that tell you that I've talked to that know Adam personally, said that guy will outwork anybody. Whenever there's a Nitro race, he might not place, you know, up there in the top, you know, on the podium all the time, but anybody will tell you when he goes to that and there's however many entries, he is harder working than anybody on that property wherever the race is, without a doubt. He brings that type of work ethic, and that's what it takes to get to that success, and that's why he's successful. You know? I would love to be in that guy's shoes, man. As far as Nitro, man, that's living the dream. Getting paid for doing something you love? Man. That's why the guy doesn't have a problem doing videos, man. You know, but anyway, I learned from him and I learned from Mr. Za. I figure, why not take the top guy that does videos on YouTube and bashing and 8-scale Nitro and 5th scale, and combine that or splice that with a guy like Adam that's got it down to a science and is a professional racer, okay, legend, and use it to what you do. That's what I've done. That's where I get my information from. I don't know how many times I got to tell you people that. I don't just make this stuff up. I'm trying to take this stuff to levels that I haven't seen people taking it to. And the only reason it's taken me as long as it has, or it's going to take long, is it's all about the money, man. If you don't have the money, you're limited to what you can do. you guys look at my shit and like, oh yeah, you got top stuff and blah. This is nothing, man. I mean, I don't want to, like, it's nothing. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, and I spent a lot of money, and I put a lot of time into this. That's why I'm so passionate about taking care of it, upkeeping it, and doing it the right way. You know, I don't got daddy Warbucks, you know, funding my hobby. All this is money that I worked my ass off for, and I continue to do that. I put in the overtime. I don't bitch and complain about how expensive it is. I mean, sometimes I do, but that's why I'm very frugal with, man. I know how to do deals. If you guys want to know how to do this the way that I do it, the way that my shit runs, what I have, the way that I tune, the way that my shit performs, the way that my shit is clean always. I mean, look at that. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but you know, I run this shit into the ground. Every time I run my whips into the ground as much as I can. One thing I haven't done lately, you know, a lot of, and then that's another level for me, is I want to jump my shit off roofs too. I'm looking for the next, man, I'm looking at this one park over here during a certain time of day. There's nobody there, and there's a way I can get on one of their buildings over their roof that's by some grass. I'll jump my shit off of there. I don't care. I want to jump my shit. Trust me. It's not that I don't want to. It's just I don't have a ramp. I don't have an area like Mr. Zah does where you can get some air. You know, I'm still looking though. But other than that, I run my shit hard. Brap it hard, run it hard. But at the end of the day, when all's said and done, my shit is brand new. You can eat off any of my platforms without a doubt. And that's the way that I keep it, because I invested too much money in this, and it's all about protecting my investment. That's smart Nitro RC in my book. Is taking care of your shit. These are my babies, man. These are my children. I feed them. I bathe them. I clean them. I wipe their ass. I mean, it's like these are my kids, man. That's the way I take it. It's personal because these have my personal signature on each one of them because I built them. Even though they came as kits or came as platforms, I've ripped them all apart, polished every nut and bolt, every little, if there was any kind of corrosion, man, I'm shining my shit all the time. There isn't a nut, bolt, or anything on any of my platforms that I haven't polished by hand at one time or another. That's just me. You guys don't have to do that. Do what you want. I'm just telling you, if you want your shit to run like my shit, and by the way, there's an old expression, you're only as good as your last game. Basically in sports, it's applied to. But it goes to Nitro. You're only good as your last brap session. If your last brap session wasn't that good, well, then that's as good as you are. Okay? Because results don't lie. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, then what is a video worth? 1,000,000? So, based on my last video of the NBX5R, which, by the way, this sexy little beast is in God of War mode right now. We switched her. Oh, yeah, she's looking sick. I mean, that's a sick whip. Look at that. And I paid, you know, not what I've got in it now, but when I bought this thing, used, it was, you know, not in top condition, but it was in good condition for $130. They're out there, man. I see that some that are sitting there from 3 years ago when I got, or 4 years ago when I started. There's one MBX5. It's kind of beat up. The guy, it's still sitting there. Make that guy an offer. He'll probably sell it to you for $100. And there's so many parts available for the 5. For the MBX Mugen 5, Buggy Truggy, 6, 7, 8. All those, plenty of parts available, man. That's why I love Mugen. Parts are available, solid whip, platform, easy to work on, handles like a dream. Even this old school handles great. You know, very reliable, very durable. This buggy, man, I put so many motors modified and stock through this thing. It's had more motors ran through it, you know, than, I mean, this is like, this thing, if you're in an RC sense, this whip's a whore. She's whored around, man. She's had a lot of shit in her. She's had a lot of motors up inside her. But man, and this holds up. I ran this thing into it got away from me when I was using the 4AA battery. Bullshit. If you guys are still running 4AA batteries, throw those things out. Get yourself a Life battery, 6.62S. ProTech. A-main. $25 or whatever it is. Reedy has one too, 27 bucks. Don't risk jacking your whip up. I could have destroyed this thing. Lucky it was a Mugen. If it was a Traxxas, it would have been imploded vision. Pieces everywhere. All it did, and I showed you guys what happened before, and the only other time I caught a piece of wood sticking out of the ground, and I ripped my front A-arms off. By the way, these are Mugen NBX 6 bottom arms. They don't fit on the 5, so I had to shave them inside for them to fit. But these aren't even 5R arms. And you guys know the radio tray in there, the carbon fiber radio tray, is from the NBX 7T. It's from my extra one that I had from the Truggy. But anyway, so, you know, I'm not going to do that many videos anymore. I'm going to only do one video a week. That's it, man. I'm not doing, this will be the last video you guys see from me till this time next week. I'm going to do a pre-run, a run, and a run, all in one. Okay? Which means you'll get 3 videos, actually, from me. But they're only going to be once a week. I'm not going to do a bunch of videos anymore. I'm just, it's too much, you know? I mean, if you guys need my help, I'm here. I'm just, you know, I'm getting too sucked into the YouTube thing. I don't want all these subscribers. I want to cut back. I don't want quantity. I want quality. And I've got 5 brothers that I know of that we talk outside of YouTube on a daily basis, every day. They're always hitting me up, asking me for opinion on stuff, and that's why I do this. Those guys, I could care less if the other 150 whatever subscribers I have go away, and all I have with these few guys. I'm cool. We're good. We're Nitro Brothers for life. And that doesn't say that I'm not open and I'm going to turn anybody down. Hey, if you guys reach out your hand to me and you want to have me ask me something, I will take out the time, though, and make a video if somebody asks me, hey, Muggy, can you do a video? Like a guy asked me, I'm going to go over some fuel shit. Going to go over Muggy's going to go over Fly Sky shit because I know Woogie just got that new IT4S. There's a lot of things that he left out and a lot of things I've had it for over a year now and I want to explain to you about that radio. You know, what else? A little bit of clutching and that's pretty much it, and then we'll shut it down. I'll probably get another hour. This will be an hour video, but I just want to let you guys know this is, you know, who am I? Okay, where do I come from? Where am I at? And where am I going? Where do I see myself in Nitro a year from now? Probably still be in 8-scale Nitro. I want to do 5th scale. Mr. Zah keeps hitting me up. You know, Mr. Zah's hitting me up on it, but the guy that really keeps pushing me is Elite RC. You know, and he's real busy. Him and Mr. Zah are busy, and, you know, it's drag racing season now, and those guys have got a lot of shit on their table. Plus, they work, and they have their other lives, too. You know, and the Elite's like, man, you got to get that 5B, man, that low C before it's not there anymore. They're going to discontinue that shit, too. I mean, they already discontinued the MTXL. You know, by the way, you guys know. That's what I hate about low C, man. That's what I hate about, not low C, but I hate about Horizon, which owns low C. You know, it goes hand in hand. Low C, let them own them. They didn't just, low C would have been way better off if they were on their own. Dynamite would have been way better off if they were on their own. For whatever reasons, these companies, because they were poorly managed and made bad financial decisions, had to rely on company like Horizon coming in and taking over, and ever since that happened, Dynamite turned to shit, Losi turned to shit, Hobbyco turned to shit. Everything that Horizon touches turns to dog shit, and continues to kick 8-scale Nitro and 5th scale in the balls as much as they can because it's a business and they don't give a shit about nobody but making money. If it doesn't sell this month, can it? Scrap it. Trust me, Losi will discontinue other stuff. And I was told, now don't quote me on this, and I have other resources that I go through. I know people that work for Horizon, I know people that work for the A-Main, guys that work for, you know, Proline, you know, and all that. I heard, and don't quote me on this, Losi is more than likely, and don't quote me, they could, they're probably not going to come out with a Losi, a brand new Losi Truggy. I don't know why. That could all change. That's just what I heard. Don't quote me on it. You know what I mean? You don't believe everything you hear. But I've heard talk of that. You know, and it's sad because Losi used to be such a great company. And they still have potential. I mean, they're going to start I'm telling you, man, Horizon's going to start cutting out shit that doesn't sell. I wouldn't be surprised if they discontinued the 5B, because they have before, or they discontinued the 5T. They're slowly pushing towards electric in E-Ward. Because more and more people keep doing electric because they can't do nitro, they can't do gas, they can't afford gas. Fit scale isn't hard, it's just expensive. You break shit all the time. Man, if you want to do fit scale, you better have a big pocket. Okay? That's why the Bajas are popular, because they're cheap, but you're spending more money in the long run. I've seen tons of videos and talked to plenty of people. The Baja is a great vehicle, good for a newbie, good for the price, but in the long run, come on. Everybody that knows anything about fit scale, you're going to put money into that thing. Okay? It's a good starter. I've seen plenty of videos from Mr. Za, plenty of other guys. He's not the only one. But I could see how fit scale is just a money pit. If you got big, deep pockets, go for it, man. I'd rather invest a third of that and get more out of it right now in 8-scale nitro. And there's more stuff that I want to do. I want to build a couple more platforms. I got a couple motors in the process. They're going to get modded. I got next level pipes. You know, I still haven't done an end bleed yet. I still got to get that Triton pipe. You know, I got some motors that you guys have seen, but you haven't seen the flavor that Muggy's putting down on. I'm talking going next level times 2. Let's go DLC coated cranks. Let's go ceramic bearings. And then let's go modified. Let's push that envelope. Mr. Zod touched on it a little bit, but he didn't really get into it, because that's when he got into Fisco. He was ready to get into that level, but then he just went full tilt into his Fisco. He was always trying to do both. I can't do that. And I've never seen anybody successfully put everything they got and get results in 8-scale nitro and fit scale. Not yet. Am I going to be that one? Probably not. I'm not going to try. I'd rather just put all my time and effort into 8-scale right now. Fit scale will be later. I'm thinking about maybe getting a 5B for the discontinue just to get it, because it's only 700 and some change. It's not bad for a badass platform that you got to build anyway, and just having it to have, and maybe later eventually build it. Okay, but just to get it before Losi freaking discontinues it. You know, and I've been seriously thinking about that. You know, I so bad I'm ready to drop 800 bucks on a 5B Losi buggy. And I don't like Losi. You guys know I'm not a Losi guy, and I really don't care for Horizon, but it is a great, I got to give credit to where credit's due. That platform is top notch. It's a kit. It's one of the only kits that I know of in fit scale that you build. Everything else is RTR. And I'm not an RTR guy. Even though I bought my vehicles not as kits, I've never built a brand new vehicle yet, but when you buy one used, you tear it completely apart anyway, so it's actually harder. It's another thing too. If you get a race kit, building it's one thing. If you get one that's used, remember, if you're smart, you want to make sure that you're protecting your investment that you just invested a few $100 in, and you want to make sure that you get the performance out of it. You are going to have to pull it apart, completely break it down. Okay, it's harder because when I get used vehicles, no matter what shape they're in, I've got to tear it all apart, clean it up, and then put it back together. Compared to if you're just buying one brand new, you just put it together. That's not as hard. It's harder to buy one used. That's why some guys don't want to do it. Some guys, I don't want to get somebody else's garbage. Well, you're only going to get somebody else's garbage if you don't do your homework. You don't ask questions and you don't pay attention to detail. And I do. That's why I've got 2 sick truggies that I got, both of them, as rollers for let's say 650 bucks. That's still, that's about the price or cheaper than a brand new 8-scale truggy, top-notch whip. A Mugen MBX 8, 700 and some change. Technos are about 6 something, But a brand new truggy is going to cost you about 700 bucks. I got 2 of them for cheaper. A little bit cheaper, or that price. Not a bad deal for me. And I'm very, very happy, and I can do that all day long. I don't really need to buy a brand new one, and I don't see putting that kind of money into something if I can get it in just as good shape with all the extra goodies. And by the way, not only did I pay that for these 2, I got all the extra goodies with it too. Extra, parts and bodies and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, I got a way better deal. If I would, what I got in these 2 vehicles, if I would have spent retail as far as getting them brand new, these 2 vehicles, motors, everything as you see them right now, that's about $4,000. Close. At least. It's almost $1,000 just in the motors. Well, 300 a piece. Well, with the pipes, yeah. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, pipes are $100. Pipe and header, top notch. Motor, $200. Modded, another 100 and something bucks. So yeah, so that's $400 for the motor and pipe. That's $800 worth of motor and pipe. That I paid for. Okay, these didn't come used, the motors. Okay, platforms though, I mean, yeah, easily. If I start doing the math, what I've got into these two vehicles, if I would have paid full price, easy $4,000. You know, I saved like half of that. So that's, you know, if you guys want to buy them brand new, you got the coin, go for it. You know, I'd rather do it that way. It just makes it my money stretch, and I can invest into other things. I think that's the big thing too. Is I like, you know, I can go spend, you know, $500 on a badass Drake Edition OS, but why? Why would I do that? It's still a .21. It doesn't change the fact of that. I'd rather spend that kind of money and get 2 modified motors for cheaper. Or the same price. You know, I can get 2 Novarossi 28.8 Rex Legends for $400 and Mod 1 for $500. What it would cost you to buy a brand new OS Drake Edition Pea Shooter 2.21. By the way, Woogie, I think I mentioned to Woogie that if you're used to running .28s, even though they're not top quality .28s, and you go to run that OS, it's a screamer. Trust me, my OS is a screamer. It's not even close to a stock .28. Just so you know. Don't think that .21 is going to, like, you know, I mean, have a wow factor, you know, or make your jaw drop. It's not. They scream. .21 scream, but it's not the same power plant. You'll feel the difference in the pull and the power compared to your 28. Trust me. Been there, done that. That's why, to me, and for me personally, .21 doesn't do a lot for me unless it's modified. The only reason that red does anything for me, and even when I got it, it was badass, but compared to my 28s that are stock, not even modded, it didn't really give me that wow factor. This thing only you know, does something for me when I run it because, one, it's in my buggy, or I can put it in my Truggy. I put it in my Truggies, it does well too, but it's modified. It's not stock, and that's where I'm at. .21s are, you know, if I get one again, you know, another one I've got. Well, my OS I gotta get it modded still, but it's gonna get modded. A .21 stock will do nothing for me. I can already tell you that. You know, so anyway, to each his own. If that does something for you, then go for it, man. I get a lot of people talk about .21s. You're asking the wrong guy. Ask Raja. He's a .21 stock .21 expert. If you want to know about stock, bone stock .21s and racing stuff, you go to Raja. He's, you know, got that shit down. Me, I'm all about the big boys. I'm all about the .32s, the .28s, the Picos, the Reds. I mean, not the Reds, the Picos, the Novarossis, LRPs. I'm on the big motors, modded. Not even stock of those. I mean, stock is okay too. That's why I said I want to have a couple stock. So I'm going to get another Novarossi 28.8 Rex Legend. Keep it stock, because I already have one modified, and I can't have my other stock one that I have there just sitting there. I wanted that one because I like the stock one for the muggy. I want to get another LRP point. I'm getting an LRP .32. I got another one of those coming, but that's getting straightly modded. Going to Rick, getting a full mod job. I might put ceramic bearings and a DLC coated crank in one of these LRP 32s because I'd like to do that. I just got to find them. And the Pico P3. Now, if I can find another one, I don't see them anymore. They used to be all over the place. One guy had like tons of them. I don't see them now. So I'm going to try to hunt one down. I wish I should have got one because they're not expensive. Like I said, $135 at your door, $140 at your doorstep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another one of those and keep it stock. So I want to have a stock Pico, one mod, one stock. LRP, I've got this one, mile modded, MM. I call it the MM modded, LRP .32. Okay. And the other Rex. So at least if I have modded our Rex Legend, modded LRP, modded P3 Pico, and stock of all 3 of them, that's 6 motors, 3 of them modified. I also want to have, I'm going to get a couple more. I think I'm going to buy another, I think if I do buy another 20.21, it's going to be a Reds. I got one OS, and that's good for me. I'm not really an OS guy. I mean, it's top notch, Chinaman, but it's Chinaman doesn't hold a, can't sniff the fart of frickin' Italian motors. Period. I don't care what people. You guys can say what you want. And besides, they don't make any top quality Chinaman. The OS .28s and the OS .30, I asked Mr. Za about those. He said they're garbage. Don't even waste your money on them. You know, so nobody makes a real, no Chinaman makes a good top quality .28. Alpha has one, but it's a 3-port, and those, and remember, when you're talking about ports, the less ports, the less screaming it does. The more ports, the more screaming, more top end. Like a 3-port .28, it's got a lot of bottom end snap, but doesn't really scream that much. Not a top end motor. At least that's what I was told, okay? That's why the Novarossi 28.8 is badass, because it's 8-port. It keeps going, even at top end, to where the LRP .32, it doesn't. When it hits top, it kind of drops off a little bit. Not a lot, but you can see it drop off. The Rex Legend doesn't, because of that 8-port, that extra port. Now, I didn't understand that until Mr. Zosh, he explained that to me. He's like, this is the difference between a Novarossi 28.8 Rex Legend and the LRP .32. The LRP .32 is a bigger motor, but when it screams, because it's only a 7-port, it doesn't continue to kind of stay level or climb. It just kind of drops off a little bit at the end, even though it's a badass motor. And the Rex Legend, according to Mr. Za, he was saying the Rex Legend, because it's the 8-port, it just kind of continues to scream. It just wants to keep going. And it's true. When running both of them, I've noticed that. So anyway, let's get into this other stuff I want to talk about. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's where I come from. I come from a gearhead, motorhead background, raised around top, you know, drag racing with boats. My dad, my brother's race. I used to go to NHR, all that. You know, I don't want to give you guys my life story, but that's why I am the way that I am. Okay? I'm not, you know, some, you know, generic guy that, you know, doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, or is just learning nitro and doesn't know about motor and mechanics. I know a lot about the mechanics and shit. But anyway, so these Fly Sky radios, okay? This one here, the Fly Sky, the one that Mr. Woogie was showing you guys, I've had this for about a year now. FS IT4S. Great radio. Has a lot of functions in it. Okay? Most of them you will never use. A lot of telemetry. They're called telemetry sensors, where you can check the heat, all that. The only one that I use is the temperature one, the voltage one, all that. And this is, I was recommended, because I got this radio because it was recommended to me by Elite RC. He has a lot more than I do. He actually has the other one, the newer Fly Sky one, which is another level above this. This is Fly Sky's entry, which is the FS GT3B. Great radio. Okay, the next one is this one. And then there's another one, which is, I think it's about $200. I'm thinking about getting that one. It's a lot more solid. It's heavy duty. Just has a real solid feel to it. Elite did a video on it. You can YouTube it. But Elite was telling me, you know, he only uses the temperatures. And he says, don't waste your time with all the... It's cool it comes with gauges and stuff, but the temperature is the only one that you really need to worry about. Voltage one, yeah. And, you know, the thing is this FS... the Fly Sky, this one right here, the i4, I don't recommend it to newbies. If you're new, and what I mean by new, if you're going from a Sanwa or a High Tech or a what's the other one? Anyway, if you're going from those type of radios, Spectrum, that's the other one I was thinking of. Oh, I forgot. To this, don't waste your time with it. Okay. I don't recommend it. It's gonna confuse you. It's got too much shit on it. One big thing that I will let you know is if you run extra receivers, see these? These are the extra. These are 2 extra receivers. I have the one. That radio only runs my Techno. When I hooked up other ones and binded other ones that I bought to my Mugen MBX7, they're shit. These both here are no good. Both of them went out. Okay, they refunded me and everything, but I won't buy the extra ones for whatever reason. Now, I don't know. You guys can do what you want to do. Like I said, experiment yourself. The experiment that I got is when my receiver failed in this thing, I had a runaway. This thing freaking got away from me, and it was full throttle right into a wall that had ivy and grass, thank God, because if it was brick, it probably would have done more damage. And again, I can tell you, these Muggins are tough son of a bitches, man. Tough SOBs. It didn't bend or break, nothing. Okay, I got very fortunate. But after that happened, I got one more, tried it, and it started glitching, and I said, nope, I'm done. So, the extra receivers that you get suck. So, Woogie, do what you want to do. I'm telling you from personal experience, if you're going to hook up other servos to this, hopefully everything's cool for you. Good luck. But I won't. So that radio will only run my techno. I would rather, I recommend to any newbie especially, like if you're a new guy, don't get that radio. It's too much shit anyway. Stuff you never use. You don't need it. If you're going to race and you're looking to budget, and as far as racing, great radio. Perfect. Okay? Even fifth sale. It's got a kill switch set up, everything. But regular bashing, thrashing, crashing, smashing, recreational nitro, don't waste your money on the FS i4. Okay? I wouldn't. Not that it's not a great radio, don't get me wrong. It's just, and if you're not a computer technical savvy type guy, you're the laptop Einstein bookworm, okay? If you're not one of those guys, definitely don't get that radio. This radio will confuse you, it'll piss you off, you'll want to throw it. So anyway, I don't recommend this to newbies. Don't recommend it if you're going to run multiple platforms. For whatever reason, like I said, maybe it's just my bad luck. Whatever, you do what you want. That's what happened to me. These are two of them right here. There's proof. These do not work. So, anyway, that's that. Now, I'm going to buy another one because 130 bucks, I'm going to buy another one because I know and that's weird because the original receiver that came with it never had an issue with it. As soon as I binded other ones to it, those receivers, garbage. Took a shit. Whatever. I don't know why. I'll buy another one. I'm going to definitely buy another one because I like that radio, but for multiple vehicles, no. And it's only 130 bucks. I'd rather run each radio per vehicle. Okay, I'm not the type of person that will run 10 vehicles on one radio. People, different strokes for different folks. To each his own. If that works for you, cool. It's not that expensive. I'm going to buy another one of those. FS-IT4S. Just for the Mugen. Okay. Now, these radios I recommend to newbies. This is the most reliable, decent, not real expensive, not real cheap radio out there. I love the FlySky FS GT3B. I've got two of them. I'm going to buy another one just to have. Okay? Look at Mr. Zah. He runs this thing on his fit scales, and he used to talk shit about him. And if you can get them modded, there's people that mod these and put the rechargeable battery in and all that. It's a hell of a radio, man. It's very easy, simple to use, basics, everything, man. And I've never, ever had any problem with any of the receivers. And I've got like 4 receivers. Oh, actually, I've got, 2 receivers extra for this one and this one. I run both of my Mugen, my XTM, this fat pig over here, and I run my Mugen Buggy, which these are my 2 old school platforms. I run them on one radio, and the other one is specifically I run only on my Mugen Chuggy. And I love the radio. It's great, man. You don't need all that mumbo jumbo frickin', you need a bachelor's degree to run the damn thing. So, and as you guys can see, I did a little custom work. I want to kind of share that with you. See that? This is a one-of-a-kind carbon wrapped FlySky. I didn't do the best job. This one came out okay. I think it's cool though. Just kind of added to it. I'm doing it with the this one too. If you guys notice, the FS. I put some carbon down on the bottom, carbon wrap. Starting to do it on the. I'm gonna do much of the radio as I can on the side. So anyway, I'm gonna carbon wrap this. You guys can do it if you want. It's easy to do. If you want to know how to do it. Maybe I'll do a video on it if somebody asks me. This is the other one. I think it looks pretty cool. Custom FlySky FS GT3. But yeah, but this is the most reliable radio that I've ever had. You know, or if you want to get one of those $400, you know, Futabas, go for it, man. But, you know, all that stuff, that's way too much shit than you really need in 8-scale nitro. So anyway, yeah, you get, this is the company. It's autogoody.com. Look it up on YouTube. You get 6 feet long by 4 feet wide roll of that carbon fiber wrap. And I use it on my bodies. I use it on everything now. I'm got kind of carbon fiber happy. So anyway, let's get into this because I'm going to end this video soon. I got some stuff to do and I got to get ready. I got to get ready for bed because I got to get up early and go to work. So anyway, VP fuel. Okay, somebody asked me, what fuel do you use? Okay, when I break in my motors, and this is what I learned from Mr. Za and again, Adam Drake. I run 20%. Adam Drake runs different fuel, but I run 20%, 12% lubrication. Okay? I call this my, you see, I can save these bottles. This is my baby, I call it baby formula. 20%, 12% lubrication. Now, because I want to up the lubrication when I'm breaking in, what I do is I add, and you have to do the measurements, and I forgot what they are, but I put a mixture of Novorossi engine oil. This is the motor they use in their engines. The oil motor. This is the oil they use in their engines at the factory. Novorossi engine oil. Absolute Hobbies. Check it on eBay. It's like $10 or something. I need to get me some more. But anyway, I put some of this, and I also put Marvel Mystery Oil because it is a lubricating agent. It protects the lifter. They're like real scaled versions of cars. Marvel Mystery Oil has been around forever. It protects and lubricates. It's good for it. If you want to know the measurement for a quart, if you want to up the percentage of your lubrication from the 12 to like, so basically I'm going from 12% lubrication, which is standard on 20% Byron's, to like 14 or 15. You want to run it nice and lubricated when you're breaking in. Now that's my break-in fluid. Okay, for regular run, after I run about 8 to 10 tanks of 20% on my break-in, then I go to 30% Byron's, 30-11. By the way, they changed the bottles on these Byron's. Tripped me out. If you look, this one is the old one. This one is the new one. It's just the background. It's the same shit. But yeah, and also this too, I put a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil in it, a few drops, just to add lubrication. So it doesn't hurt anything. It helps, trust me. That's how my motors run, and I've been running. Stock motors, modified motors. Like I said, if you want your shit to look, run, idle, perform like the muggies, then this is what I do. I'm telling you guys, okay? But you do what you want to do, okay? I'm only going by what I do and what works for me. Might not work for you. Like I said, you're only as good as your last game. My last game, which was the last running video that I did, okay, my idle was on point, I think. Okay, my shit ran great, performed, 0 issues, had no problem. So based on my last game, I think I'm as good as that last tune, and it's been like that. Okay, am I the perfect tuner or my shit's perfectly? No, but you go watch my videos. Okay, you tell me whether I know how to tune or not. Am I perfect? Hardly. Far from it. Okay, so if you want your shit to look like mine, freaking clean as a whistle, well taken care of, well maintained, tip-top shape, okay, if you want your shit to run like mine, idle like mine, perform like mine, then listen to what I say. If not, do what you want to do. Your shit's good, and I'm not saying it isn't, then cool. You don't need me to help you, you know? You don't need the Muggy Maniac to do videos of anything. You guys, there's enough videos I have already that I could disappear for a month. And not that I'm going to, but I could, and you guys are good. You guys that know my number and know how to get a hold of me, hey, we'll talk. Anybody that asks me and makes a comment, and if you don't subscribe, I am not even going to know you exist. because those are the only ones that pop up and tell me, that somebody made a, comment or whatever. If you're not subscribed, I won't even know that you make a comment. So I don't check all my videos and all the time, although I have been going over it slowly, little by every video that I've done that's uploaded, and checking all the comments and see if I missed anybody and addressing those questions and stuff as best that I can. You know what I'm saying? So, but unless somebody asks me to do a video on anything, I'm not really going to do a lot of videos anymore. Like I said, maybe a couple videos a week. This is the last video you guys are going to see till next week. So unless somebody asks me and say, hey Muggy, can you do a video on this? I'm having trouble with this. And then I'll take my time out, find a little bit of time, and so basically special requests. Otherwise, I'm not just going to put up videos to hear myself talk and to give constructive criticism, which is what I call it. It's constructive criticism, people. It's not pompous, it's not arrogance, it's constructive criticism. Call it how I see it, keeping it real, which is how my channel always is and always will be. If you don't want the Muggy Reality channel, if you don't want the smack laid down on you, then unsubscribe, go to the Disney Channel. I'm sure you'll find a comfort video somewhere where somebody will pat you on the back and, tell you that, your shitty tune is okay. Or, I just read another comment. Somebody uploaded a video and I was watching it, and another guy that has a lot of subscribers makes he's not the first time he's done this. I'm not going to throw his name out there because, he knows who he is. Okay, and he probably doesn't really give a shit what I say anyway. But he made a comment that a guy who was running his run video, and I could tell that there's something going on in the clutch. Okay, usually when your clutch, when it sounds your motor's lagging, it's not hooking up, doesn't have that snap, most of the time either one, you're running a 15-tooth pinion, which I doubt, and you're getting zero bottom end. Two, your motor just has zero pinch left and just lags. Or three, which is usually what it is, your clutch is not hooking and engaging right. Either your springs are too soft, you've got oil in it, it's slipping, your shim is shitty, something's going on in your clutch to where your motor it doesn't have that grunt, it's not pulling. So anyway, I could see that right out the bat, and I could hear it too. And this guy makes a comment, oh, great video, sounds good. Really? Again, man. Not even giving a shit to take the time out to help the guy out and say, listen, I noticed this by watching the video. Is this cool with you? And, maybe, seeing what's up. Maybe it could be something else. But just letting the guy know that he noticed that. That's caring about somebody. That's helping a brother out. That's pulling a brother up to your level. Not like, oh man, you see a guy's vehicle running like shit, the tune sucks, he's having all kinds of issues, and you're like, cool video, dude, sounds awesome, you're doing an awesome job. And you know why they do that? Because they just want to stick their nose up your ass so you can subscribe. I don't care about all that. Like I told you guys, unsubscribe. I want to be the most controversial, shit talking, but with facts to back it up, calling people out, saying it how it is, no holds barred, no smoke and mirror, no special effects, no sugar coat, powder coat, none of that bullshit. I'm just calling it how I see it and calling people on their shit. And just like you call me on my shit, bring it. Talk shit about me, but just make sure you bring the facts, that's all. Don't bring your fucking knife or your pea shooter, excuse my language, to a gunfight. Because you guys already know what's going to happen. Don't think that I'm just some dum-dum or I'm some guy that's, sort of figured it out in 4 years. Okay? I've got a lot more experience in mechanical, background and I just shared some of it with you that you guys even know. So, okay, and am I saying I'm the greatest, I know everything? No. Am I Mr. Perfect? No. Is all my shit perfect? No. But you be the judge. You look at my stuff. You see my shit run. I don't just do videos of me running my mouth. We brought my shit. Okay? I show you guys what I do, how I do it, the method to my madness, why I do what I do. This is what makes the Muggy ticks. Or what ticks the Muggy off. So we'll leave it at that. The clutch issue, check your springs. Remember, modified motors, which not a lot of you guys have, but if you do, Clutches, soft springs. Doesn't need any help. Rule of thumb. Modify stock motors, stiff springs, heavy springs in your clutch shoes because he needs the help. That's coming from Mr. Za. I learned that. He has a video on it if you don't know. So anyway, that's all I got. We're almost an hour. I think I covered all the things that a couple people asked me. Fuel, don't store your shit in the light. Keep it in a cool, dark... Here, this is the Muggy Maniac's Nitro Dungeon. This is where I keep my fuel. Down in here. Dark, dingy, cold. It's where you want it. What happens when you keep that shit in a warm area or you keep it out in the light? What it does, it breaks down the elements that are inside of the nitro fuel. I don't know the exact process of what happens, and that's what makes it go bad. Other than that, Mr. Za has gallons of Byrons that he's been storing forever. And I don't even think they have an expiration date on it. I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on that. As long as you store it in the proper place, like I told you, it tells you on the bottles, store in a cool, dark area, you're good. That shit, as long as it's sealed right, don't leave it open. If it's not sealed and it's open, then your shit goes bad. But if it's sealed up, nice and tight, okay, and stored in a cool, dark area, that shit will last forever, okay? Doesn't go bad. It's only when you don't have it sealed and air gets in it or it's open, it'll go bad, okay? So that's all I got. If you guys have any questions, like I said, this is the last video you're going to see from me till sometime next week. But there's good things coming, man. I'm going next level times 2, like I said. I want to get into shit where a lot of guys that, you know, there's a lot of unfinished business, so to speak, that I think 8-scale nitro got left in. And it's not, I'm not putting the blame on anybody. That's what I've seen. You know, and sure, we have a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles to overcome. We keep getting kicked in the balls by all these companies, corporate companies. The only one that really hasn't kicked us in the nuts yet is AMain. Thank God for AMain. Pure, you know, RC company. Horizon is not even an RC company, people. Do you know that? Horizon is a distribution company. They don't know shit from Shinola. That's why they suck balls. Because they're just worried about money and distributing shit. They don't research, develop, nothing. Horizon has nothing to do with that. It's a distribution company. If you don't believe me, Google it. Okay? At least AMain, the owner of AMain, is an ex-brother. Or he is a Nitro brother. He is a Nitro brother. Okay? The owner of AMain. That's why they have AMain has their own races. That's why they have their own product line of nitro shit. Protect, that's theirs. That's why they sell a lot of You get where I'm coming? That's what I'm talking about. Horizon, thumbs down on Horizon. But remember, credit due where credit's due. Criticism due where criticism's due. Credit due to Horizon, one of the top customer service companies. Hands down. AMain and them. Top. Okay, and that's the only good thing I have to say about Horizon. And I do like I like Hobbyco shit. I love Losi products. I use all of my, I use a lot of Losi shit. And I might get that 5B, but just Horizon, I don't like them at all. If they were I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. So anyway, that's all I got. Enough of the muggy yapping. So that's just to let you guys know, that's where I come from. You know, this is where I'm at, and I just told you what I want to do. We got a lot of plans. I want to do this, and help. I don't want to take the fun out of this, but keep in mind, it's not that I'm taking the fun out of it, but there's certain things that I take to heart. Okay? And I don't like people throwing my name around if you're not representing. If you're not going to represent the nation the right way, don't represent at all. Don't throw my Nitro Nation or my name in anything. Remember, the Nitro Nation, that's my shit. Okay? Don't get that twisted, people. I'm the one that came up with the Nitro Nation. Nobody else did. That's my shit. I'm the one that thought of it. So don't drag the Nitro Nation through the mud. Don't represent the wrong way, or I will call you out. I'll put you on blast publicly, and because, I don't, that's the shit that's when you cross the line. Everybody makes mistakes. People mess up. No big deal. Just, keep your nose clean, so to speak, okay? I don't got time for bullshit, okay? I don't got time at all anymore. That's another reason I'm not going to do as many videos. But like I said, if you guys ask about something, hey Muggy, can you do a video on something I'm having I don't know about, without a doubt, I will never tell anybody no. I will make a video specifically for that one person because they asked me. Okay? Anyway, that's all I got. Shout out to all my Nitro brothers. I mentioned most of you guys, you know, average, you know, everyday blue-collar guy that's working his ass off. You know, just remember, if your shit's not being ran, you're shelf queening your shit, shelf bitch I call them, set your piston bottom dead center, okay? After run oil in there, muggy juice, whatever. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. The VP fuel, great fuel, but don't try running this shit in Italian motors. Italian motors don't like this shit. And that might sound crazy. It is what it is. You know, I'm telling you that from personal experience. I ran it in Italian motors, didn't want to tune as good. It's good fuel, but it just, the Italian motor didn't like that shit. There's something in it that they didn't like. And I talked to a bunch of guys from the company, and they said that could be possible. But Ty Testman's dad runs it on the OS motors. I ran it on my OS when I on one of my Japanese motors, and Offna motor, great. I tried running it on Italian motors, they rejected that shit. As soon as I went back to Byron's, no problem. So if you got a Jap motor, Chinaman, BP fuel, you're good. Don't try to run BP fuel in Italian. I'm just telling you. Do what you want. You can learn from your own experience, but don't say that I didn't tell you. It's not going to ruin or anything, but you're going to struggle. So anyway, that's all I got. I'll leave you guys with that. I'm out. Peace.